They're not smarter than you. They're just running a system you were never shown. Dark psychology doesn't happen to weak people. It happens to everyone, every single day, in places you walk into without thinking twice, trusting, open, completely unaware of what's already in motion around you. The job interview, the first date, the negotiation, the family dinner. None of these feel dangerous. That's exactly the point. The reason these tactics work has nothing to do with how smart you are. They work because they target systems inside you that were built long before you were born. Ancient survival wiring that manipulators have learned to exploit with surgical precision. What separates the people who get played from those who don't isn't intelligence. It's pattern recognition. And you can't recognize a pattern you've never been shown. There are 3 manipulation tactics being used against you right now. 3 specific, documented, repeatable systems. Understanding them doesn't just protect you. It changes how you see every interaction you'll ever have from this moment forward. This is the Codex. 3 pages, 1 system. Let's open it. Tactic 1. The mirror. It starts as warmth. Someone begins to reflect you, your posture, your vocabulary, your rhythm. They laugh when you laugh. They lean when you lean. They use your own words back at you, slightly rephrased. It feels like chemistry, like you finally met someone who actually understands you. It is not chemistry. It's a documented technique called mirroring, and it generates trust in minutes. Not because the connection is real, but because the brain reads similarity as safety. We are wired, at a neurological level, to lower our defenses around people who seem like us. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature. And manipulators exploit it deliberately, without hesitation, and without remorse. Here's what makes it particularly effective. It feels good. You walk away thinking you finally met someone who gets you. What actually happened is someone studied you for 20 minutes and handed you a reflection designed to earn your trust. By the time you feel the connection, the door is already open, and they're already inside. Think about the last time you met someone and walked away thinking, that person just gets me. Now ask yourself, how much did you actually know about them after that conversation? Almost nothing, but you trusted them completely. That's not coincidence. That's the mirror working exactly as designed. Tactic 2. The debt loop. They give you something first. A favor, a compliment, an introduction, an opportunity. Sometimes it's small. A coffee, a recommendation, information they didn't have to share. Sometimes it's significant. Either way, it feels generous. It is not. This is reciprocity weaponized. The human brain is hardwired to return favors. It's a survival mechanism built over thousands of years. You receive, you feel obligated to return. It's not a conscious decision. It happens automatically. Manipulators understand this better than most therapists. Every gift they give is a calculated investment. Every favor is an opening position in a negotiation you didn't know had started. And when the time comes to collect, and it always comes, refusing feels wrong. It feels ungrateful, like you're the difficult one. That discomfort you feel when you try to say no, that's not your conscience. That's the trap activating. You can't refuse what you never agreed to. The debt was installed before you saw the invoice. Think about a colleague who always remembers your coffee order, always offers to help, always has a kind word, right up until the moment they need something from you. something you wouldn't normally agree to. And you find yourself saying yes, not because you want to, but because refusing feels like a betrayal of everything they've done for you. The investment paid off. You were the return. Tactic 3, the reality anchor. This is the most dangerous tactic of the 3. Not because it's the most aggressive. It isn't. It's the most dangerous because it doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like being corrected. It feels like confusion. And confusion, over time, becomes compliance. Someone begins questioning your perception. Not once, repeatedly, consistently, over weeks, over months. That's not what happened. You're being too sensitive. You always do this. You're remembering it wrong. Each correction is small on its own. A single raindrop changes nothing. But they accumulate. They sediment. And slowly, without any single dramatic moment you can point to, you stop trusting your own mind. You start checking your interpretations with them before you act on them. You ask their permission to trust your own experience. And once you do that, they don't just influence your decisions, they author them. The anchor isn't in the ground, it's in your head. They put it there, one small correction at a time. And the cruelest part? By the time you notice it, you're already using it to weigh yourself down. This is why people stay in situations they know are wrong for years. Not because they're weak, not because they lack self-awareness, because the anchor makes leaving feel like the irrational choice. Because by the time they consider getting out, they've already accepted a version of reality where staying makes sense. Now you have the system. You understand the 3 mechanisms, how they're built, how they're deployed, why they work. That knowledge alone shifts something. But knowledge without application is just discomfort. So here's the codex. Here's how you actually use this against the mirror. Slow down. Real connection has a pace to it. It builds over multiple interactions, not one conversation. When someone feels like your best friend after 40 minutes, that's a data point, or not a feeling to trust. Ask yourself, are they mirroring everyone in the room, or specifically you? Targeted warmth is never accidental. Against the debt loop, close the loop immediately. When someone does something for you, return the favor quickly and proportionally. Don't let debts sit open. An open debt is a vulnerability. And be conscious of who always gives first. Generosity that precedes every ask isn't generosity, it's positioning. Against the reality anchor, document everything. Dates, conversations, what was said and what was decided. Not because you're paranoid, because your memory is not your only evidence. When someone consistently has a different version of events than you do, that pattern is the information. 1 correction is a mistake. 5 corrections is a strategy. Trust the pattern, not the explanation. The people running these tactics on you are not geniuses. They're operators. They learned a system. They apply it consistently, and they rely on the fact that most people will never examine their own reactions closely enough to notice. That's the entire edge they have. The only way to neutralize a system is to understand it better than the person running it. Every interaction you walk into from this point forward, you're reading a different layer of it. That's not paranoia. That's literacy. Before we close the codex, there's one more thing you need to understand. The people who run these systems don't think of themselves as manipulators. Most of them don't. They think of themselves as pragmatic, as realistic about how people work, as simply playing the game better than everyone else. And that's the most important insight in this entire video. Because it means these tactics aren't reserved for sociopaths and villains. They're used by ordinary people. In ordinary situations, every single day. Your competitor, your manager, your partner, someone you genuinely like. The system doesn't require malice to function. It only requires that one person understands human behavior better than the other. That asymmetry, one person who knows the rules, one who doesn't, is what this channel exists to close. You're not learning to become an operator. You're learning to recognize one. You've been playing a game without knowing the rules. Now, you know 3 of them. 3 specific, repeatable, documented systems running in conversations happening around you right now. In your workplace, in your relationships, possibly in your home. Knowing them doesn't make you cynical. It makes you clear. There are hundreds more pages. Every video on this channel is one of them. Learn the system, then decide how you use it.